What is up, guys? We're back with more Rangers reviews. Finally, it's been a few weeks since the last time I did one of these. Today we're gonna be going over the. We're not gonna go over the McLeod contract because I already went off on Twitter about that. I'm not doing it again. Look, I gotta get a haircut. Look at this. Yuck. It's gonna turn to an afro. I haven't had my hair this long in a long time. Anyways, John Gilmour, 1 year, $650,000. Jimmy Vesey, 2 years, $2.275 per year. Not bad at all. The first time in a long time where I've seen a Rangers contract that I'm pretty all right with. We're not going to talk about the Nemesnikov contract because, I mean, it is what it is. I don't think Nemesnikov is going to live out the duration of that contract. IMO. But alas, here we are. Okay, so the John Gilmour contract, I really thought that John Gilmour was going to get, like, maybe north of $900,000. I really thought he could have gotten $900,000. So the fact that he sold for $650,000 is dapper. Not that we really need the cap space, because let's be real, we don't. I don't know. I don't know. In John Gilmour's case, I would have gone 700, 800, even 900 for John Gilmour. I thought he was good enough at the tail end of last year that we could have done that and still been pretty comfortable with it. So the fact that he took $650,000, it's pretty good. And it's a two-way contract too. So if he spends a year in the minors, he's only making $100,000. Yeah, that's pretty good. He actually is making less money because his original contract when the Rangers signed him had $925,000. Yeah, $925,000. It's signing and performance bonuses, but still. He had 5 points in 28 games. But I really liked watching John Gilmour play, and I think he deserves another shot at the NHL roster this year. He's only 25 years old. He's not turning 26 until May 17th. So yeah, I mean, good for John Gilmour, man. I'd like to see what he turned into. Now the issue is, I think we have more exciting defensive prospects than John Gilmour, but because we have so many fucking prospects, we're not really gonna get a chance to see either Gilmour or those prospects together, eventually. So listen, I guarantee you Gilmour, D'Angelo, Shaddy Smith, Stahl are all for the next 2 years. Gone. All 5 of them. Skajiza and Pionk will probably be the only ones that last. The reason I say Pionk is because I think Pionk was one of the better players on our team last year. I think he was one of the most awesomest surprises freaking ever. All right, Pionk killed it. First of all, he did pretty well in Hartford too. He had 17 points in 48 games. And then he goes to the NHL and he puts up 14 points in 20 games. He was on pace for a 41-point rookie season as a defenseman on a shitty team. Neil Pionk is a beast, and I think he's going to be really good this year. I think the best is yet to come. Neil Pionk, actually, last year, when the Rangers signed him, I think it was like 23 NHL teams were trying to sign him, and he chose the Rangers, the psychopath. Almost done. Still going. Okay. So like 23 teams tried to sign Neil Pionk, and he chose the Rangers. The crazy motherfucker. Because we had a pretty deep defensive core last season. Now it's even deeper. And Pionk's like, you know what? Send me there. I want to go to New York. New York, baby. Anyway, the Jimmy Vesey I like the Vesey contract. I would have paid him nearly maybe $3 million if we would have gotten him for 4 or 5 years. But 2 years is a prove-it deal, a bridge contract. The Rangers are the king of the fucking bridge contracts. So we're just going to go ahead and... So the bridge contract... It's something the Rangers normally do with their player. Hayes and Kreider as the examples. I think we did it with Delzato as well. I said Kreider. So bridge contracts are a big thing for the Rangers. Really? Now my dog's 1 second. How can I help you? Come on in. Go ahead. I know. Okay, so I think this video is going to be all about disruptions and not about talking about the Rangers. No, please, make yourself at home. She's not allowed on the couch anywhere else in the house but my room, because I have a leather couch in my room. Anyways, without further interruption, Jimmy Vesey. He had one more goal than he had last year. He had 27 points in his rookie year, 28 last year. Now, granted, Jimmy Vesey was a fourth liner for the majority of the year, so we can't really expect huge numbers out of him, but, you know, he was a highly touted prospect. We invested a lot in him. Very hyped. Kind of want to see more than 25 to 30 points a year. I think this year, listen, it's only his third year in the NHL, and he's only 25 years old. So he's still young, he's still growing, and again, it's going to be his third year in the NHL. Now he's settled in. He knows what the NHL is like. He spent 2 seasons here. He's been in the playoffs. He's been out of the playoffs. He's getting the best of everything. I think this is the year Jimmy Vesey scores 20 to 25 goals, and maybe we see him at 40 to 45 points. If you get that out of Jimmy Vesey, we're set. We're happy. If Jimmy Vesey peaks at a 20 to 25 goal player, 40 to 45 points a year, if that's Jimmy Vesey's peak, if that's peak. That's it for him. I'm happy. It is a successful signing after that. Why is there knocking? They're knocking. People are knocking. That's fine for Jimmy Vesey because if he peaks at an average 20, 25 goal, 40 to 45 point guy, you might get lucky. He might just have a ridiculous 30 goal season or a 50, 60 point season, and all of a sudden that trade value goes up. Then you send him elsewhere. You bring back a big haul for a player that's really not that great or as great as that one season suggested. Check this out, ready? Bro, it's like a gallon thing. You get a player that's really not that great as his statistics the previous season suggested. You bring in a haul of prospect and you build from there. That's what the Chicago Blackhawks did so good with. I mean, a little more unfortunate for them because the players they traded away that I thought weren't so great, Bufflin, Ladd, etc., turned out to be pretty good players. Okay, that knocking's really something. It's got to be like the worst video on all of YouTube. I kind of lost where I was at. Right, so he peaks at 20, 25 goals, 40, 45 points. He has a crazy-ass year one time, then you flip me, you get a bunch of assets back because teams will overpay for a guy that has one really good year. Brandon Saad to Columbus for our Saad to Columbus. The original Saad to Columbus trade was a bit of an overpayment on Columbus. I mean, they freaking made up for it damn well with Artemi Panarin, but the initial trade was a bit of an overpayment. Columbus was like, oh shit, he had one good year, let's go. Boom. Obviously, different situation. Brandon Saad was much younger than Vesey would be in 2-3 years, but still. Just as a for instance. But yeah, I like the Vesey contract. I like how it's a prove-it contract. I think this will be his year. We can see 20 goals out of Jimmy Vesey. I think he can get 40 points a year. I hope. I keep saying I think, but I really want to say I hope. Oh, God. We still have to sign Spoonman and Hayes and Shea. Once all three of those guys are signed, we don't owe anybody anything after that. We just need a backup goalie. I think it's going to be Georgiev. I don't think we're going to sign a backup goalie. We sign one more defenseman. I'm going to put my foot through the fucking window over there. I swear to God. No more D-men, please. Unless a superstar is falling on your lap for dirt cheap, I don't want to hear another word about defensemen. I just can't. And people out here trying to convince me that we should trade more players to Tampa Bay or take back shitty contracts for Tampa Bay and take Callan Foote over like an Alexander Volkov or like a Ty Radish. Like, are you fucking kidding me? First of all, Callan Foote is he's good, but he's not great. Okay, Cal Foote is not on the same level. He's definitely half a step, maybe a step above Volkov and Radish. But god damn it, we have so many defensemen that could be Callan Foote. We don't need the guy. We just don't. Keandre Miller is no, I'm not going to go that far, but Keandre Miller is just about where Callan Foote is in terms of value and what he could be. Okay, I'm not downplaying Callan Foote. I'm just saying we don't need him. I don't think he's going to be that great. There was the PNHLE released WHL prospect ratings, right? 1 to 20. Cal Foote was fucking 14, or like 14, between 10 and 14. Come on, if he was that great, he would have been higher up on that list. I mean, just in my humble opinion, if I'm trading with Tampa Bay, all right, taking back a shitty contract, I want forwards because we need forwards. Okay, you know you could say we have Keitel, we have Anderson, awesome building blocks. Lethierry, maybe a bottom 6 forward. I like Brett Howden. But I feel like Brett Howden's the guy you draft in NHL 18 late because you know he has exact top 6 potential, low overall, and then you just trade him for something later. I just feel like that's the kind of player Brett Howden is because he'll never turn into anything, I don't think. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I am 100% wrong. But watching Brett Howden play, seeing the things that he does, he just seems like a guy that's a junior scorer. I don't know if he could transition to the NHL game. I'm usually pretty right about these things, and if you don't believe that, I mean, all right, ready? Look at this. The year he was drafted, 2016, right? 27th overall. He got drafted. He had 64 points in 68 games. Not bad. 24 goals, 46. That's not bad. The year after that, 58 games, he had 81 points. That's not really that big of an increase for an overage year. And then. Oh, no, it wouldn't even be an overage year. But the year after that, this past season, 49 games, 75 points, 24 goals, 51 assists. That's not that great. That's not putting up absolutely absurd. That's not putting up absurd numbers like a highly touted prospect should be. That's putting up numbers of a guy that could be a third-line center, a solid third-line center. Anybody can score in the juniors. The Rangers have had players throughout their entire history that were great junior scorers that could never translate into the NHL. One of them goes by the name of Nigel Dawes. You want to hear about Nigel Dawes? Okay. The year he was drafted, 2003, 47 goals. And 92 points. The following year, 47 goals. The year after that, 50 goals. He's played with the Hartford Wolfpack, 35 goals, 67 points, 77 games in his rookie season. How many points did he have in the NHL and how many games? 84 points in 212 games. 32 of those points came in one season with the Calgary Flames. The season after that, he played 9 games and had 1 assist with the Atlanta Thrashers. Okay? I would have liked to see a little bit more out of Brett Howden for him to really be considered a really highly touted prospect. The Rangers are the kings of having prospects that do great in the juniors and the minors but never can translate to the NHL. I'm afraid Brett Howden's one of those players. So why not just feed the minor league system with just a shitload of forward prospects? You got plenty of defenseman prospects, more than we could have ever needed. Let them grow, let them compete with each other. Again, unless a superstar falls on your lap for nothing, get some forwards. We got to stock the shelves with the forward, man. Because the big problem I have with the Rangers is we have not had a standout forward since Jagr in the mid-2000s. As good as Gaborik was, and I loved Marian Gaborik, well, I mean, you could make the case that Gaborik was a standout forward. Okay, I'll give you that. And Rick Nash had his 1 year. But I'm saying consistent. I'm talking like even I guess you couldn't even say that about Jagr because he was only here for 3 years. I can't remember. It's probably before my time was the last time the Rangers had a forward they could rely on for 10 straight years. It's a 10-year thing of just a great forward or franchise player. Brian Leetch, I guess, was the last one that did that. We don't have one of those, and I don't know if we're going to. I was kind of hoping Buchnevich would be that guy, but I don't think so. Anyways, I've ranted long enough. Comment down below your thoughts on the contracts, not everything else I blabbed on about. Hopefully I'll have more contracts to dissect in the future. Hayes, Spooner, and just get your eyes at maybe some trades. See you guys in the next one. Peace!